Everybody, what is up? It is Lynn. Welcome back to my channel. Hi, how are you doing? Happy Thursday. Hope you're all having a great day. So let's get into some of this drama. There's quite a lot going on at the moment. One of the things that I wanted to start off talking about today was Hanna. Hanna. Now, if you don't know, I did kind of make a little update video recently about Hanna and what was going on with her. Not in the way that I was like speculating about her mental health, because I did say I didn't think it was right to do that. But there have been some kind of development with this whole Hanna thing. So it seemed like, if you've not caught up with drama, it seems like Gabbie was having some kind of either psychotic break or manic episode. Gabbie made like 300 odd TikToks over the space of like, 2 days. And it was a lot. It was a mess. She let a stranger into her home, all of this stuff. So then following on from that, people were like, oh my God, Gabbie's really going through it. But I don't think that's the case anymore. Like, I don't know if this was all a little bit of a setup with Gabbie. So the only reason that I started to even suspect that this Hanna thing might be like a bit, it might be trolling, it might be set up. The only reason that I started to suspect anything was because Gabbie herself said, oh my God, I made TMZ in one of her TikToks. She was saying, oh, I haven't looked at social media for like 3 or 4 days. But then when I went on the internet, I was news on TMZ. So Gabbie was like laughing about that and saying that, she thought it was funny, whatever. She was like, I made TMZ. Like, as somebody who has experienced psychotic breaks, when I'm coming down off them, I wouldn't be going, oh, I made TMZ. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't be proud of it, because during this time when Gabbie was making all of these TikToks, she said things that were racist. She said things that were homophobic. She said so much. She said transphobic things. Like, she said so much that has really pissed people off, that people want her to take accountability for, but they haven't been getting on her case about it. Nobody's, really been calling Gabbie out on any of that, because we all thought that she was going through something, We all thought that this was a psychotic break, a manic episode, whatever, But Gabbie now, herself, hasn't been on TikTok for 4 days. Now, she hasn't uploaded any TikTok, nothing. She's gone, like, silent on social media. And that is kind of worrying. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, so you were really pleased when you found out that you were on TMZ. So it's like, here's that attention you ordered. You know what I mean? It's a bit like you were excited about being on TMZ. And that was when she was like coming down off the manic episode. She was literally just sitting in bed talking about it. And I was like, girl, you did all of this for what? You did all of this for what? Is it because she's going to drop some new music or a new book? I don't know. But all of the stuff that's been going on with the guy that was let into her house, I've heard that he's now being sued. It's a whole ass mess. Like, I really don't know what else to say in regards to this Gabbie situation now, because it seems like she was trolling. The guy that went to her house, I think that was genuine, because that guy was just an out and out clout chaser. I made a video about the situation with him. He was a clout chaser, point blank, period. So I think that him going to her house, I think that was real. I don't think that was set up, but I think that Gabbie doing all the TikToks, I think that was Gabbie trolling. Now looking back at it, it was Gabbie trolling. It must be, because the way that she was so excited to be on TMZ, like, that's not normal for somebody who comes out of a manic episode or a psychotic break. I would be horrified if that was me. If I'd done something in a manic episode or a psychotic episode and then, oh, look, bam, I'm on TMZ, I would be horrified. I wouldn't be, going, oh, wow, yeah, that's really funny. And then Gabbie also tried to compare herself to Britney Spears, which we know that Gabbie is not, being abused in the way that Britney Spears was. It's a mess. It's awful. It's ugly. I'm like, Gabbie, you did all this for what? For what, Queen? For what? And I don't feel bad sitting here talking about this either, because Gabbie said herself that she's had several people go to the house over the last few days, the last week, whatever, to do wellness checks on her. And they've left her and said that she's okay. She's been assessed psychologically, or so she said. And they left her. And they said that she was fine. Somebody even contacted Gabbie Hanna's sister, and Gabbie Hanna's sister said something like, oh, well, she's in LA, we're somewhere else, and we can't do anything about it. But, for Gabbie to have had, 3 or 4 wellness checks, to have had a psychological assessment, or so she says, and for the police and everybody to just leave her and say that she was fine, then I'm like, okay, well, if you've had a, wellness check and everything, and everybody said you're okay, then what was all the 300 TikToks for where you were being transphobic and racist? Attenzione. Okay, we're going to move on. We're going to move on from Gabbie, and we're going to talk a little bit about Andrew Tate, because, of course, Andrew Tate, if you don't know, was kicked off social media the other day, and it's been a really big talking point, on YouTube and everything. So, Andrew Tate kicked off social media. He was kicked off for the things that he says, where he's homophobic, transphobic, where he's misogynistic, all of this stuff. He was kicked off because of his worldview and the way that he talks about certain topics. And now Andrew Tate's lawyers have actually reached out to Ethan Klein of the H3 podcast.
Andrew Tate, as you guys know, has been the talk of everybody recently. He got banned on all platforms, and a lot of people were defending him on the grounds of free speech. Very important, right, that we respect the free speech.
If you want to chop your dick off, I have nothing against that. I'm not anti-gay. I'm not anti-transgender. I'm not anti any of these things. What I am anti is propagating your worldview on other people's children. If you're gay and you can't have kids, why do you now believe it's your right to go to other people's kids and tell them how to think? If you've decided that the type of sex you want to have will prevent you from procreating, that's your decision, right? You've decided that having sex with women isn't worth it for you. You don't want to have children. You want to have sex with men. Fine. Your decision, and you're entitled to it. That does not give you the entitlement to go to other people's families who did decide to have children and raise them and try and program their children. Leave the kids alone. You can be as transgender as you like. Don't come talk to my kid about it. That's my child. I will program my child with my worldviews. I raise them. I pay for them. They're my kid. They're not your kid. And they're not the government's kid.
Well, I wonder what those people think about this. Received a email today from Andrew's attorney asking us to cease and desist talking about him. That seems like, what about my free speech, Andrew? Everyone just got done defending you. This seems like a little bit of a snowflake thing. I mean, top G, more like top P, ussy, giant pussy snowflake, bro. Woo! Yeah, so he wants me to cease and desist, but I'm basically saying cease and desist these nuts. You womanizing, misogynistic loser of a man.
Of what Andrew Tate was saying there about he doesn't want anyone to pollute his kids' minds and all that stuff. On the topic of that, what I would say is if children at school are learning about gay relationships when it comes to their sex education classes and stuff, if they're learning about gay relationships, it's no harm to those kids that are going to be straight, right? They're not going to grow up gay just because they're hearing about, gay sexual relations and stuff. It doesn't mean they're going to grow up gay. It just means that the kids are finally being taught about it instead of it being taboo, and instead of them having to grow up fucking confused if they are gay and not knowing why, what's going on, But kids these days see gay relationships on TV. They see things like RuPaul's Drag Race. So it's how can you be that angry about kids in school being taught about being gay or being taught about transitioning, anything like that? How can you be that angry about it? It's not going to affect your kids if they're not gay or queer. it's not going to affect the straight kids to hear about gay relationships or, you know, what it is to be gay. It's not going to affect those children if they're straight. If they're straight, they're straight. Just like if they're gay, they're gay. That is something that they can't change. I'm queer, you know, and it really would have helped me throughout school to have had some kind of acknowledgement of, you know, queer relationships, or, you know, to be kind of included when it came to the sex education lessons and all of that. You know, it would have helped. It would have been a lot less confusing for me growing up as a teenager if we'd had that. And what's really, really weird about this Andrew Tate situation is I found myself agreeing with Logan Paul, of all people. Now, I would never usually agree with Logan Paul about anything, but in the clip that I'm about to play you, I fucking agree with Logan Paul. Even my little baby Bramley agreed with Logan Paul in the clip that you're about to see. Didn't you, Bramley? Yeah, you agreed with Logan, and you said, wow, that's really weird. We don't normally agree with Logan. Not since he did that thing in the forest with a body. We don't always agree with Logan. That's really weird. And you were shook, confused about us agreeing with Logan. But yeah, we did.
We're going to dive into Andrew Tate. I don't feel like platforming this guy. I don't feel like giving him the blessing of being my dance partner in the ring, especially after the social media platforms have made it very clear how they feel about this guy, right? And I would even put a little call out here to like fellow creators and even JJ. Like, you want to re-platform this guy? Anyone? You want to have him on your shows? You want to give him another opportunity to speak and spread his agenda? Because whether you believe it or not, the shit that Andrew Tate is saying will have a ripple effect much more dangerous than you can imagine, because his narrative is truly hateful. His rhetoric has extreme negative energy in it, and it will affect impressionable young people in a way that will not show until years from now, and it is dangerous.
Now, this is why Bramley and I here were so fucking shook. Logan Paul was speaking facts there, speaking facts. Like, Andrew Tate's rhetoric is hateful and it is harmful. I'm glad he's been kicked off social media. You know, he deserves to be kicked off social media because his takes are harmful to people. The LGBTQ plus community, his takes are harmful to women. You know, the fact that Andrew Tate wants to talk about, like, oh, well, you know, when a guy goes out to work at 4 a.m., you know, what's he doing? Collecting garbage, whatever, you know, picking up trash and all of that. The fact that a guy goes to do that to, you know, earn money for his woman. Oh, and then the woman can stay at home. Like, girl. Andrew Tate, so you don't want to accept that women can be leaders in business and women can be powerful and women can be independent and make their own money. Oh no, women should stay at home and look after the kids and, you know, have pretty nails, according to Andrew Tate. Misogynist fuck. So Andrew Tate wants the freedom to say whatever he wants to say, but the moment somebody starts to talk about him, like Ethan Klein, it's Andrew Tate lawyering up and sending Ethan Klein a cease and desist. Oh, well, so much for free speech, right? You know, just as Ethan Klein said, how are you going to have free speech? You know, now I'm not like Ethan Klein's biggest fan at all. You know, no way. You know, Ethan Klein, I know that he's said racist things in the past and all of that. You know, I'm not his biggest fan. But how are you going to champion free speech, Andrew Tate, and then come for Ethan Klein and send him a cease and desist when he talks about you being misogynistic and all the rest of it? Like, you can't have your cake and eat it. You can't have, you know, oh, it's free speech for me, but then the moment you start talking about my speech, oh no, you know, that's not allowed, against the law, illegal, cease and desist. Fucking pathetic, man, right? One more quick little thing in this video before I go. I noticed that Patrick Star is probably going to be doing a collaboration with Disney. That is huge, right? That is crazy. So Patrick Star, if you don't know, makeup guru, beauty guru on YouTube, Patrick Star has a makeup brand called One Size. Now apparently he's going to be launching something special, Disney themed, or maybe even a collaboration with Disney in a couple of days.
So on this day, we are going to manifest that One Size Beauty is going to have a collaboration with Disney in the future. Put it out into the universe. It's going to come back and it's going to happen. And I can't wait for everybody to be here when that happens.
I hope so.
Wow. If Patrick Star has really collaborated with Disney, then that is fucking huge. That is insane. You know, I hope he has. I think that'd be nice. Like, congratulations to Patrick if that's what he's done. If he's collaborated with Disney, that is going to be major. Like, I would love to see that. You know, I don't know, you know, maybe I might not buy it or whatever because it's like Sephora and all of that, but I would still love to see it. You know, like a YouTube review of the collaboration, the collection, all that. Like, good on you, Patrick. You know, if that's what he's done, amazing. You know, absolutely amazing. Congratulations to Patrick. Anyway, guys, I'm going to stop this video right here. I'm going to say take care, stay safe, stay well. Love you guys so much. Thank you for taking the time to watch my video, and I will see you soon on the next one. Bye. Take care.